it's Whitney. Oh, my camera looks a little bit cloudy. Let me wipe it off. Okay, that's a little bit better. I am very inspired right now to do this impromptu Periscope because of something that I saw on social media. So I was scrolling through Instagram about 30 minutes ago and I saw something that really moved me, and I really want to talk about it, and I feel like this is much more appropriate in a live setting. So what I want to do here is talk about Essena O'Neill, who is someone on social media. I think she got her start on Tumblr, has done very well on Instagram, has a great YouTube channel. She's a vegan, which is how I know about her. And I had the pleasure of meeting Essena a few months ago in Los Angeles, and she's beautiful inside and out.
Oh, it's like so much fun.
This is her first time trying kombucha.
Oh, I love it.
Do you?
Jeanette, you were dating an Australian guy.
I was dating a guy.
It's horchata ice cream with chocolate sauce on it.
He wasn't even vegan.
Dessert time. And Essena has always been someone that I've been really fascinated by. Yet there was an element of me, I guess, that felt a little, I don't know how to describe the emotions I felt about her, but it all kind of started to make sense tonight when I saw what was going on in her Instagram. So if you want to follow along with me, you can look up Essena O'Neill on Instagram. And whether you do it now or simultaneously, which would be great if you pull up your computer as I have right next to me, you can go through these posts and actually share some of your thoughts as well, because it's honestly one of the most amazing things I've ever seen on social media. What Essena is doing right now says she's quitting Instagram, Tumblr, and YouTube. But I'm a little confused right now if she's actually quitting it. Her latest post says she's quitting Instagram, YouTube, and Tumblr for good. She deleted over 2,000 of her Instagram photos that served no real purpose other than self-promotion. That is just mind-blowing to me, because for somebody to have so much content online and to completely delete it, there's something really big behind it. And it's not something that she's trying to hide, at least not that I'm aware of. It's something that she's really being purposeful about. And again, you can read all these posts. There's so much content. She's building a new website about this. I feel like there's so much pressure to position ourselves on social media in a specific way. And what Essena is articulating through her post that really called to me is about the superficial aspects of social media and the damage that it can cause to us with our self-esteem. Pressure to be on it constantly and to have like perfect content, you know, and perfect can mean so much to us in so many different ways. Perfect can mean the perfect photo. Like on Instagram, we're always after that perfect photo. We want our food to look perfect. We want to look perfect. We want the sunsets to look perfect, whatever else we're doing on Instagram. And I felt so turned off by that. For me, it's a pressure that just doesn't feel good. I think social media, Instagram in particular, can be an amazing place for community, for connection to people. But I think that it can also be this drive to feel like you always have to create so much and you have to make it look good and you have to seem happy or successful or whatever else. And then sometimes we fall into these traps of being not ourselves, to being something, to projecting something other than who we are at our core. Koya just said, it's a job to me. It's like getting dressed. You make a choice. And Tom says, let's start being real on social media. And yes, that's what this is all about with Essena's posts. I think she just got sick of it. So a little bit more background on Essena for those of you who aren't familiar with her. She is this beautiful girl. I think she's 18, and she posts a lot of content sharing her life. And she has a really massive following on pretty much every platform. And it's amazing. You look and you see how many followers she has. And since she's so beautiful, she's got a modeling contract. She's always doing these modeling photos and all of that. But she has had this awakening recently where she's being very honest about the fact that most of her Instagram, most of her content was designed to get approval from other people. or it was designed to get money. So if you go through her Instagram right now, she has edited all of her photos with different captions to talk about the reality behind each of them. And it's just like the most honest perspective I've ever seen. She talks about sometimes how she was feeling on that day, and she'll say, I took 100 photos just to get this one to make it look perfect. This is not real. She talks about how much money she was paid to promote something like a tea, and how the only reason she took that photo was to promote that tea to get that $400. And she didn't really care about the tea. There's a couple posts that she put up where she says things like, I only wore this outfit for this photo. I never wore it again. I only did it to get paid or to get it free clothing. And it's just so honest. Essena's move here is a big commentary on just really how out of hand social media has become. And social media is such an amazing tool, but like we do with many things in our lives as humans, you know, some people use it for good and some people use it for not so good. And I think that that's really the point that she's trying to make here, is not everything that you see on social media is real. And so many of us can fall into this trap of feeling like we're not good enough because we see other people doing things and we feel like we have to be like them to be successful, or we have to be like them to make money. We have to be like them to be loved. We have to be like them to fill in the blank. And I certainly feel this very frequently, and it's gotten to the point where it's hard for me to go on certain social media platforms because I will self-degrade myself, and it becomes to this point where I just don't feel good, but I keep going on because there's other elements of social media that are so beautiful. You can use it as a way to stay in touch with people that you love. You can look at these social profiles and say, wow, I'm so glad that I know what Koya's up to today, or I'm so proud of whatever, Monique has experienced today, or whatever else it is. In fact, I did that today. I went and looked up somebody that I haven't talked to in years, and I was noticing that I think he got a divorce from his husband, and I'm thinking, wow, like, I should get back in touch with this person. I think moments like that make social media so beautiful. They're a reminder of who these people are, what we're missing, what elements we're not experiencing with them every day. The challenge is, if you're someone like me who's very sensitive and also not 100% in control of my emotions, I can easily fall into that habit of judging myself. And I think that that's where it can get dangerous, because there's part of me that wants to go on there and feel uplifted, and then there's part of me that's always at that risk of falling into some further depths of not feeling very good about myself. And so it's a daily struggle of, well, do I go on social media and am I going to get triggered? For me, I have triggers like with body issues. So sometimes I'll go and I'll look at someone like Essena, who has this flat stomach and who's beautiful and young and all these things, and she's got all these followers, and I can just start to say, oh wow, I wish I looked that way, or I wish I had that many followers and all of that. And it's so tough, because then there are all these incredible qualities to someone like Essena who you're so drawn to, and you want to follow them because, as Essena is demonstrating right now, she expresses some really remarkable things, some really inspiring things, and I'm so grateful that I didn't unfollow her simply because of my own issues with self-worth. Really, at the core of it, I think Essena is demonstrating right now how important it is for us to be as real as possible and transparent, and important it is for us to find ways to add value to other people through our social media. We can certainly use social media to talk about our lives and celebrate ourselves, and people want that as well, but I think she's also calling to the importance of transparency around when we're getting paid for something. So if you're at a certain level where brands are approaching you and asking you to promote their products, it's so important to work with brands that are in true alignment with you, and it's also important to work with brands and be transparent about that relationship, and that's something else she's bringing to light here. It's also important to be transparent about how many photos you take to get that perfect one, because as she highlights in many of her photos that are still on her Instagram, she would take hundreds to get that one where her stomach looked just right, or where the light hit her just right, or the day where she looked the most tan or the most fit, and all the work that it took for her to get her body into that right shape and whatever and else. There's so much background behind all of this content that we put up on social media, and we can assume that other people know that we don't always look like that, or we don't always act like this or whatever. But I think that there's this deep human level of simply just feeling envious of other people. And I think we're just in this different time where we've never been in it before as humans. We've never been faced with that instantaneous ability to see what other people are doing. Each of us can contribute to this movement of being vulnerable and real and promoting who we really are at our core versus our superficial outsides, promoting who we are on a daily basis versus who we are in that 5 minutes that we did that photo shoot, or that 1 hour that we did our photo shoots. Because I feel like the more that we present a perfect image of ourselves, the less real we really are, right? If we're always striving to be perfect, if we're trying to be something that we're not just naturally, then we get farther and farther away from the real depth of who we are and why we're here. And as Essena points out as well, she says at times when she was 15 or 16, she identified with being a sexy woman. That's who she thought she had to be. She thought she had to dress a certain way and look a certain way to fit in. She thought that she had to take certain photos to get approval from other people. And then it becomes this endless search for approval. And that's something that I really strongly resonate with, because I struggle with that all the time. Especially with YouTube, I'm always thinking about how can I make a video that appeals to the most people, that gets the approval from the most people. And it's so hard when I don't get high numbers on YouTube, or when I get thumbs downs, or I get mean comments or whatever. It's like this constant battle. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like a manipulation. Do you agree with me on this? Like, we're manipulating ourselves and we're manipulating other people, trying to present ourselves in a way that will be approved of the most. And ultimately, that gets away of really our ability to understand ourselves and to get down the depth of our core. The times that I've taken away from social media and YouTube have been really healing and enlightening to me. Just sitting down and reading a great book and trying to understand myself on a deeper level, I feel like I get to know myself and I'm able to express myself in a way that I wouldn't if I was just trying to look perfect and trying to get that validation or something. That's also so wrapped up in our ego. And that's something that I've been really just thinking a lot about ever since I read Eckhart Tolle's work. A New Earth was a book that just transformed so much of me. And reading that book and thinking about the ego and how it works and all of that, I think that we live in a society very based around our egos right now. And maybe that explains why that we face so many challenges in terms of experiencing more peace in the world. We're all in our own journey, and we all are in different stages. And I get the point of this is not to judge. It's not to judge people, because we're all at different places and we're going to arrive to them at different times. I guess my hope is that more people will try to search for the realness within them, whatever that may be, get to the root of their core. Because when you can do that, when you can drop the ego more, then you can start to really feel more balanced in your life. And if all of us kind of sought to be more balanced, as Essena is doing here, if we seek to balance ourselves out and love ourselves more and do things from a really deep level, then we can actually continue to spread that on to other people. And to me, that's ultimately what leads to more peace and harmony in this world. And I don't know about you, but that is a big mission of mine, is just to bring more positivity and peace and love and all of that to people and in the truest way possible. And I think we just have to lift each other up and celebrate the people that are part of that movement if that resonates with you. And if someone like Essena really resonates with you, I think show her some love, spread the word about it, and then see how her words inspire you and how you can translate into whatever work that you're doing. You know, this comes at a really important time for me because I've been struggling with Instagram, for example. Instagram has felt very, I don't know what the word is, but it just hasn't felt like an easy platform for me because I feel like I don't want to spend 20 minutes taking the perfect photo for Instagram. I want to share something real, and spending that time to take the perfect photo is not real for me. I'm still working on verbalizing my feelings around Instagram, but it just hasn't been working for me right now, and I felt some pressure and guilt around that because it feels like there's a lot of pressure to have your Instagram game on point because because that's where you get the validation, or that's where you get the money, and if you have a lot of followers you get paid more. You know, there's so many, like, there's just this ripple effect around that. Same as with YouTube. I mean, YouTube is a game, and both YouTube and Instagram, though, can be used in beautiful ways. Like Koya, if you check out Koya Webb's platform, it's like, when I look at your photos, Koya, like, it inspires me to get out and work out. I was thinking about you earlier today. I see how much work you put into getting in this great shape and to celebrating life and being outdoors and all of that. And so I think that we can really inspire other people through our content. The trouble is it more important to post content that a lot of people like, or is it important to post content that really resonates you and a small handful of people, and kind of let go of how many people actually care about it? These are the type of questions that go through my head all the time. Essena, again, is summarizing a lot of this in ways that I have yet to figure out how to verbalize. So I'm going to continue reflecting on what my truth is, and who I want to present myself as to the world, and what changes I want to make. You know, ultimately, I think one of the best approaches to social media is just thinking, how can you add value? And if you feel like you're adding value, then ultimately that is the best answer to deciding what or what not to post. Essena's posts and content on her current Instagram profile really, really added a lot of value to me, and I hope that this Periscope and this conversation added value to you tonight. I would love your feedback. You can reach out to me here. You can find me through Eco Vegan Gal. I'd love to have a conversation on any platform. I really just appreciate you being here energetically. I feel very supported by all of you. I'm looking forward to your thoughts on it and the ripple effect that it has as a result. All the best to all of you out there. Bye.